Hi there folks, my name's NovaWrap and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for your simulation release news and goings on from the week that was. So here we are once again on Sunday the 4th of February 2018 for another action-packed episode, and we are going to get started with almost feels like deja vu from last week. So the guys over at Dovetail Games have released their promised update for Flight Sim World, their first of their promised updates of Flight Sim World since it's gone out of early access into full production, and they've come out with dynamic weather. Now, this is a little confusing because dynamic weather, a lot of us sort of, when we heard this was coming, thought, okay, cool, dynamic weather, we're going to have live weather, excellent. No, we're not quite. This is their preparation for live weather, as they say in their press release. Essentially, this is their chance to actually test the weather engine. So what it basically is that you start off a location, it's thrown together. They've got a preset series of randomized sort of meta strings that it can feed off. It'll randomly select them, and your weather will change as your flight progresses. So great start. Definitely nice to actually be able to see that the weather will change rather than just being stuck in the same kind of weather. So that could be very interesting. And as I said, it is laying a groundwork for them moving forward into where they actually do have a full live weather. So that is actually probably one thing that is cool, that it does confirm that we do have a full set of an advanced weather engine with live weather will be in the product, the core product, without being DLC in the future. So I'd take that out of it as good news. In the meantime, though, it is, as I said, it is something a bit interesting to give you a bit of a different way of looking at it. Still don't have my lights, but anyway, that's fine. But as I said, it's a good step in the right direction, so we'll look forward to seeing where Dovetail Games goes with that now. Of course, as always, if you don't already have it, the title Dovetail Games Flight Sim World has left early access and is available on Steam. Alright, moving in to the ESP world now. So moving on to the guys over at Viewpoint Technologies have released their rendition of Manchester Boston Regional Airport, often just simply known as Manchester Airport. The guys over here have taken, basically they've gone through the kind of interesting things I want to point out about this one. The actual airport itself looks like it's actually coming in fairly highly detailed, especially for a very affordable price point, coming in only around about $16 or so. They've got over 100 high detail custom buildings in here with 4 season texturing as well automatically. So it covers you through the 4 main seasons. Full high res textures, full dynamic lighting support for prepared, using photoreal apron textures and a few other things like interesting, very specific details about that airport, and complete with night texturing support as well. Also includes the surrounding area in high quality photoreal, but actually that's the part I want to get into this. So they have a little side note here of all photoreal satellite images used on a free usage license. Now, the free usage license satellite imagery that's out there isn't the most detailed. And looking at the screenshots, as I said, the airport itself looks really detailed and really well done, but the surrounding scenery, not so much, which is a bit of a shame, really, because as I said, like the actual content of the actual airport is actually looking really good. But the guys have gone through and done it. It looks like they've done a pretty damn good job for it, and as I said, for the price point, especially for a lot of the senior releases that have been coming out lately, it's actually a pretty good price point for this one. So if you are looking at exploring the New England area, this is probably an airport that you might want to grab. Now, just a word of another interesting note for compatibility. So according to at the moment, I can only find it either on on SimMarket's website for the purchasing. Now it says that it's compatible with FSX and Prepared version 4. No mention of Prepared version 3, which to me seems a little odd, and I couldn't find, as of the production of this video going live, I could not find any further update on this one about the fact whether it's compatible with version 3 or not. So I find it very interesting, very odd, especially considering if it works in FSX, it should work in Prepared version 3, no problem, but I can't give you any guarantees. So yeah, either way, it is one installer, has everything included, as they're coming in for about €13, just over $16 available now over at SimMarket. In another scenery release, the guys over from the Malaysian Flight Simulator Group have released their latest offering for the scenery area for that local for the Asian region. They are offering us Kushiro Airport in Japan, which is an airport fairly local to Hokkaido. It's a fairly basic airport. It's used primarily more for domestic, so domestic flights, but it does have some capability for international charter flights. But yeah, primarily it's a domestic Japanese airport for this one. Now it does come through with some fairly high detail stuff that is compatible with FTX Global Vector, compatible with AI traffic, does not require SODE as the jetways are static, so take that or leave it depending on how you feel about it. It does have a highly detailed representation of all the buildings currently as the airport is laid out towards late 2017. Includes static vehicles and aircraft fully compatible with AI traffic and an updated terrain mesh for the area, which is actually really important because the airport actually sits on sort of like a hill, and some of the approach lights are actually mounted on beams and on pylons, which is actually really interesting, really kind of cool. Now this one is again this thing that we're seeing a lot of at the moment for a lot of developers, where they're releasing both an FSX version and a prepared version. The FSX version, it works with FSX and FS9. So for anybody out there who's still using FS9, great for you. You do have the option of using this in FS9. Now, otherwise, if you do want to grab the prepared version is fully compatible with prepared version 3 and 4, including taking full advantage of the night lighting capabilities of prepared version 4. Now, here's the part that, again, I find really disappointing about developers who do this. Now, if you buy one, you don't get a discount on buying the other version. So, developers like JustFlight will offer you either a free version or a discounted one. Developers like Aerosoft will offer you a discounted version if you buy both versions. So, it's a bit disappointing to see this developers actually decided to only sort of you charge the full price whichever way you go. Now, having said that, it's not insanely expensive either. Again, it's a fairly low cost as far as scenery add-ons go. This one's coming in €13, so $17 US. So it's not hugely expensive, but at the same time, for users like myself who still dabble in sort of both spaces, it's a bit frustrating to be able to go that path. But there you go. Anyway, developer's choice for that one. Now, if you don't want to pick these ones up, these ones are available now over at SimMarket. Alrighty, and continuing on with the ESP world. Unfortunately, there was nothing much released in the X-Plane world that I could find. Sorry, X-Plane guys. You've had a lot of stuff coming out, a lot of beta stuff coming out, but nothing really much actually released this week. But yes, in the ESP world, rounding out the ESP releases for this week, the guys over at Black Box Simulations. So they've come out with their Britain Norman Islander, the BN2. So this is the piston-powered version, not the later turboprop-powered version. Now, the guys over at Black Box get a sort of a mixed review for stuff. I've only used their smaller stuff, the fairly new, fairly small stuff, and the lighter aircraft, and I've absolutely loved them. I think they're a great developer, actually. But I haven't gone into I haven't used their older stuff, and I haven't used their wide bodies. So there you go. But I haven't got my hands on this yet. I'm hoping to in sometime in the near future. Now, this is a fully compatible across the full ESP range, which includes FSX Steam, Prepareds version 2 and 3 and version 4 as well, so full compatible across the board for this one. Now, this has a beautiful high definition rendition of the Britain Norman Islander, including 3 different nose cone configurations, including one of the search and monitoring ones. High fidelity modeling and flight dynamics has been tested by actual pilots of the aircraft. A lot of animations going on this one, including things like brake hoses moving and stuff like that. It's really cool. It takes full advantage of the dynamic reflections with the bump mapping and dynamic lighting in for prepared version 4 users as well. You get 14 liveries and a fully high-fidelity custom sound set included with this one as well. So, looking pretty spectacular from the screenshots, so looking forward to this one. Now, again, one of the things that I like about Black Box as well is the fact that they offer, like UK 2000, they offer a trial of their product as well. So, just like do it for some of their products, and UK 2000 do it for their sceneries, and the guys over at Black Box do it for their products as well, where you can actually get a time-limited trial, so you can actually make sure that it is the aircraft that you you want to buy, and also that it will run on your system. So really great thing to see for that one. So because this is a really the Islander is a really iconic sort of style aircraft. It really falls. It's in the same kind of category as the Twotter, and they are just both iconic aircraft of the style configuration. They really are. So there you go. So yes, if you are wanting to pick this one up, this one is available over at the Black Box Simulation website, coming in at €30, or your original equivalent, available now. Alrighty, moving out into a different simulator now, moving into the world of DCS. So the DCS, the great unification moment is upon us. So this the great final release of DCS World 2.5 Open Beta. So this is basically DCS World, for those who, if you've been hiding under a rock or something for the last 10 years, essentially DCS World has been around for about 10 years or so. It came out of a software called Lock-On Modern Air Combat. And it's been slowly in development, but the thing is that it's had 2 or 3 very different branches of the beta for the last about 3 years. And it meant that certain add-ons would only work with certain branches. You could only have certain things in certain branches. You couldn't have them in the other branch and stuff, blah, 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 blah. And it got very frustrating, very annoying for a lot of people. Now, don't get me wrong, DCS World does incredibly high fidelity. They really do. Like, the modeling they do and the quality of their add-ons is absolutely out of this world. It really is. But what they have done is they have been commenting for the last year. They've always said that they will eventually bring all these multiple different versions and different sub-betas. They will eventually bring them all together, and that has finally happened. We still don't have a full non-beta release. Honestly, I don't think we ever will. Just throwing it out there, I don't think we'll ever see it go into a full release state. It's their way of just being able to just keep tweaking it. Don't get me wrong, they're doing a great job tweaking it and do some amazing stuff. But yeah, it really comes off as an amazing content. The graphics engine has been overhauled from the ground up. It looks amazing. Fully in native VR, which for VR users like Belgeode have reported is absolutely insanely gorgeous. It really is. You've got a variety. You can customize the actual difficulty of it, whether it be easy, more arcade style, or you can have it as very real, ultra realistic, which is what it's designed to be. You get a whole heap of stuff free with it as well. So even if you just want to try it out, because it can be a bit of a hardware hog, it can just definitely test your hardware. The actual core title of DCS World 2.5 is actually free. The actual core is free, so you get the TF51 two-seat trainer Mustang, or you get the SU-25T Frogfoot basic ground attack aircraft for weapon system non-clickable cockpit, but you get that included as part of the free core content. So that's really cool. Gives you a chance to go before you start investing. And trust me, try and master those aircraft before you start purchasing all the other modules. Just saying that. Anyway, talking to users who actually got it so far, they're saying that visually it's a massive overhaul, looks incredible. Things like you're actually getting like explosions actually have like metal fragments and stuff coming out of it. Like the amount of detail that's gone into this is really incredible. As I said, they've completely overhauled the Caucasus region, which is the core region in the core sim, and again, as I said, brought on all the currently available add-ons have been made fully compatible with 2.5 and updated to 2.5 standard, and we've got a whole heap of more content, more modules coming into the near future. So, as I said, if you haven't already, go forth and download it. Their servers took one hell of a hit from a lot of people trying to download it in the first couple of days, but apparently the servers are a bit more open at the moment. But yes, definitely go forth and hit that one up, because it is an amazing sim. It really is. I need to put more time in it. There you go. As I said, core DCS World 2.5 open beta available free from digitalcombatsimulator.com. Alrighty, moving into other simulation releases this week. Now, I've seen this one. This one intrigues me, and I'm probably coming into this one probably from a more personal point. It really intrigues me, this one. So this is Scavenger SV-4. Now, this is sort of really only... It's on the edge of simulator space. It really is, because it does have simulator aspects to it, but again, it's one of those titles at the moment that's been coming out for the last few years, which tends to push the boundaries of what does it mean to be part of a genre. Now, as I said, I'm really intrigued by Scavenger SV-4. Essentially because it actually goes back to the old school days when I was growing up with computer games, where it was about a story. It was about a story and an experience and an atmospheric experience, and this very much feels like that. So it's a very highly replayable, atmospheric, first-person science fiction game where you are a commander of a ship, which is above a world which is highly radioactive, and you have access to a rover drone, which you can send down to the surface and recover things and do your bidding on your behalf. So very interesting, very intriguing single-player sim. So nothing multiplayer, very basic graphics, but still visually quite stunning as well. And not a bad price. So it's coming in at $15 available now on Steam. So as I said, it intrigues me a lot. And as I said, I like things that have a story behind them. I like when things have a story. One of the great things that I remember talking to Belgiot about is how, and I love, one of the things that I love about his channel is the fact that he's a storyteller. I love watching even his non-flight sim content because he is he's just an amazing storyteller. But yes, anyway, as I said, if you are wanting to try out Scavenger SV-4, it is available now on Steam for $15 or your original equivalent available now. And in finally wrapping up the simulation releases, this one, and normally I don't often cover early access releases, but this one actually, the physics in it actually intrigue me, and actually I think they've done it quite well, even though it looks very arcadey. So this is Frontier Pilot Simulator. Now this again is a single player title which is focusing on gameplay and on storytelling. But what intrigues me about this one is the fact that it's all about you're pilot of a VTOL aircraft, VTOL sort of transporter on this alien world, and it goes through various different weather conditions, with changing wind directions on altitude, and being able to sort of manipulate the VTOL physics and the flight model of that. Now, although it is done from a third-person sort of arcade-style perspective, from what I'm seeing in the video, the physics is very interesting. Like, anybody who's tried to fly helicopters will tell you that they are an intriguing beast, and the art of vertical and takeoff and landing is a very interesting art, and they're very hard to be able to mimic. I mean, the guys the guys in X-Plane and DCS probably do it the best at the moment, but this one, for the VTOL physics, is going to give it a pretty good run for its money. As I said, very intriguing, very interesting, and I did want to bring this one to everybody's attention. Now, this one is a early access title, so it is still in development, still in very much an active development state at the moment. So there you go. But it's coming in at $25. I think it might be good just for the physics side of things, if you're fascinated about that kind of stuff. And there's a bit of a science fiction aspect. As I said, it's a bit of a detour from the normal content we see here, but I do want to highlight these ones because I think this one looks pretty cool. As I said, coming in at $25, Frontier Pilot Simulator, available now on Steam. Alright folks, well that does round out of the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.